Hello and welcome to week 3 in the psychology of adulthood. And here we are in chapter 3, transitions into adulthood, where we not only talk about, let's say, rites of passage and, you know, those events in our lives that sort of correspond with adulthood, but the real question that goes on in our society today as to when does adulthood begin? There's a lot of different ages with legal components associated with them. There's age 16, 18, 21, 26. I think that's when you have to get off your parents' insurance. And, there's all these, what does it mean to be an adult in that legal sense? But then what does it mean to be an adult in your own personal sense? When did you feel like, do you feel like an adult? Do you feel like you're in that place? Or do you think there's still, some areas where you're not quite sure? So adulthood in our society doesn't really have that sort of clear linear stamp that says we're an adult. So a lot of this week's material is on that. So the discussion, which is related to the assignment, and I'll get to the assignment in just a little bit. The discussion focuses on the quote rites of passage. You've all graduated maybe a couple times, and then there's your first job, your first maybe based on your faith. There's different events or ceremony that you've gone through and all that. What are the rites of passage that you've been? I know that when I've taught this class face to face, we actually have a group get together and people share. They're just like this, share. And one person years ago shared this when they were, I think it's when they were 12. In their family, everybody got their first .22 rifle. There's a big hunting and fishing culture within his family, multiple generations of that. It's a big deal. And they would throw this whole event with, food, and the relatives come, and the gifting of the first rifle, and the going out and the first hunting trip with that person who now can have a hunting license. And I might have my ages wrong for those of you who hunt. I don't hunt. But it was such a wonderful story. And for that person, nothing that they've been through, high school graduation, getting married, having kids and all that, when they're sharing the story, nothing hit them as hard as that particular event. That was I'm now part of the family. I'm now a provider. There's very, very important things for that person. What have you got? What do they share that with people in the discussion boards? Your personal rite of passage maybe that you've encountered in other cultures or whatever. So that kind of discussion. Now, the assignment. I'm trying something a little innovative. So the task is very straightforward. I want you to come up with a list of job duties that would be included for the job title adult. Not adult jobs like accounting and stuff like that. I mean, what is the job description for an adult? Like, pays all their own bills, has their own house. I'll stop there, but you are going to come up with a list of items that you would expect an adult to do that you could use as an evaluation for someone to determine how adult they are. You even might put things on there that sort of show you're not an adult yet. That's okay. That's all fine. There's all kinds of things where people are different places or whatever. So now, this could be just an individual assignment, but I decided to break you all up in groups, and I have made an attempt to create groups inside of Brightspace. From what I can tell on my end, because I can't really see the student end, is that I think there's 10 groups of 3. Each one of those groups, I believe, can access their own little discussion board. They go in there and they can talk to each other. And I believe each group has a Dropbox. I don't know this for sure yet, so really kind of like giving you a little experimentation here. The idea is, rather than make this an individual project, you're going to work in groups of 3 to come up with what I just talked about, to come up with a list of activities that, the job description of an adult, and you're going to actually report out some scores on how well people did, following the directions that are in the course book. Now, the change from, the course book kind of talks about those groups and stuff like that. This is an experiment. If I have to make some changes on my end, let's not get too worked up about the due date or anything. I would like to see this happen. I would like to see a good result from this. I would like to hear from people what they're seeing. Take some screenshots if it's problematic, or maybe this thing just miraculously it's all working. But I went in there, made the modifications to the course, and hopefully you'll click on that. There's a link to the discussion boards, the groups in the course timeline. Hopefully that brings you right there. I was unable. There is a link to the assignment Dropbox. I don't know if that's a shared Dropbox. If it's not a shared and everybody has their own, that will only mean that when you have your final document in your group, that you put all your names on it on the title page, and each one of you submits the same one to your own Dropbox. So that's the goal of this assignment. I don't know if it's going to work. It's okay if it doesn't. It's okay if we change halfway, and it's okay if this assignment lasts a couple weeks so we can work all the bugs out. I am perfectly fine with that. So that is the adventure we're on today and this week. So get back to me as to what you've experienced with those, with the setup that I did, to see if it's working. If there's anything I can do on my end, I certainly will do that. Have a great week, and I will see you online.